West Indies and Australia beating stick,
What? Really? That not right. Hold on, man. That can't right.
Adrian, and ask you, I tell you this. We do have a good record against Australia.
Well, we never have a good record against New Zealand or England. I'll beat them.
Yeah, you think India this?
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Today we have Adrian, Raymond, and I to talk about the upcoming match, Australia versus the West Indies. This is the fourth match for both teams in this ICC ODI World Cup. Adrian, how do you feel about this matchup?
Nervous. I mean, we're going good. We're toppling over all the top teams, the New Zealand, the England. Then we came along India and we got clobbered despite a valiant effort. And now I see Australia in front of us. And a bit nervous, but hey, let's go.
Raymond, you're not as nervous as Adrian about this matchup.
No, it is what it is, I swear, it is what it is. But the truth is, I almost felt like, West Indies should have probably played Australia when they played India, but that wasn't the case. and so it is what it is. They got beaten from India, they got beaten. So it's how they respond now in this game, and it's possible. It's possible, with chemistry and everything, and the fight that they tend to have. It's possible to actually get a victory. So I'm looking forward to be entertained. That's it for me.
West Indies versus Australia is always a big matchup. They have played 13 matches between them. And get this, Australia win 12, right? West Indies
that can't
1.
Right. That can't right.
13 matches between them.
No, wait a minute. That can't right.
12, West Indies 1. Adrian, West Indies is Australia beating stick. But in this World Cup, Australia, world number 1 ranked team, by the way, West Indies ranked 7th. In the last 3 matches, or since, because they're playing their 4th match, so the first 3 matches in this ICC World Cup, Australia is unbeaten. Then beat England, then beat Pakistan, then beat New Zealand. West Indies also beat New Zealand and England and lost to India. Australia at the top of the table, West Indies in 5th. Australia unbeaten coming up against the West Indies, Adrian. You expect this to change, or pretty much the same trend will continue?
What do we have to lose? If there was ever a time when the West Indies needed to pull off a performance for the ages, that time is now, right? Yes, the odds are against the West Indies winning this match. Yes, the West Indies really lost out badly against India, but they didn't look like they were supposed to have beaten New Zealand, and they won. They didn't look like they were supposed to beat England, and they won. I am saying the West Indies can pull another rabbit out of the hat and actually win this one. A full-blown rabbit. That's what we need.
Raymond, this looks like we need more than a rabbit. Australia record is, as you can see, 5-0. And if you go further down, you'll still see double. West Indies, 2 losses, 3 losses, 2 wins. West Indies full time.
Yeah, it really stuck up against them. That'll take more than a rabbit and a hat, and that'll take more than that. But one thing I would say, West Indies tournament tournament, West Indies is very different. And so with all of those records, that 13 game and winning 12, tournament West Indies is so different. And you could see this in this tournament, the type of persons, the teams that West Indies was able to beat. So with that said, and we know how hard this assignment it is, I'm sure the West Indies female team would actually know their assignment and go out there and perform to the best of their ability and put some pressure on Australia. And Australia could possibly have a bad day, but you have to force Australia into that bad day and making those mistakes and get that and come to the fore and become up on the ascendancies.
Adrian, in our last match against India, we lost by a whopping 155 runs. But in that match, we were very sloppy, and I think we gave away the match from bowling. No maiden, 317 runs after 50 overs. Definitely, we need to change those figures or those stats for this game.
Yeah, yes, Kurt. We're properly sloppy. Didn't give the batters an opportunity to really compete. They were under pressure even before the batting innings started. And as such, the bowlers have to be a lot tighter. Apart from that, the fielders also can't be as sloppy as they were against India. And certainly, it appears that the West Indies don't want to be batting second, because if Australia goes in and puts in a big score, then the pressure falls on them. So those are some of the things they need to tighten up on. Tighter bowling, tighter fielding, and oh God, pray that we get to bat first, where we can put them on the back foot and not the other way around.
And Raymond, the way we batted against India, we definitely need to fix that. The openers gave us an excellent start and something that you would want to continue. And getting 100 runs in like 12 overs, you can't ask for anything better. And then you end up 150 something all out. The middle order has to come and pick up where the openers leave off.
Yeah, Kurt, most def. You can't have the openers performing to the extent that they have, and then the rest of the persons collapse pretty much. Barely putting on any runs at all. At some point, Taylor needs to come to the party. At some point, and we pretty much need her now more than ever in a big match against Australia. And this stage for me, and under these lights, I almost figure this is the best time for her to actually, come big. And all will be forgiven and forgotten about the level of performance before. So yeah, she has to come big, and the rest of the persons, flowing from the top order, need also to insert themselves and pretty much put on some serious run.
So whilst West Indies struggled in their last match, Adrian, Australia was totally dominant against host New Zealand, batting first, 269 for 8, and bowl out New Zealand for 128, winning by 144 runs. The domination
Pressure
is
from the start, Kurt. Pressure from the start. If they bat first, we cannot allow them to actually put us under pressure like this. Anything that goes beyond 220, 230, then the West Indies will definitely be under pressure. You can see it from there. They are pushing to increase their net run rate. Australia wants to dominate the teams they play, and they want to ensure that they're on top of things very early, demoralize the teams so that they can actually look bad at the end.
Raymond, Australia has a star-studded team, right? Ranked number 1 in the world, and it's obvious based on their performances. They have 5 players, batters in the top 10, right? They have 3 bowlers in the top 10. They lead all of the categories. The number 1 all-rounder, number 1 bowler, number 1 batter in ODI cricket. No pressure, right?
So it's a juggernaut of a team, Australia. And I can just imagine why Adrian said he was nervous because he knows what the West Indies team is up against. This Australian juggernaut with such a high quality team. But once again, I keep saying this: tournament varies, and if you put enough pressure on any opponent, you might actually get the better of them. So once West Indies is able to pretty much, as Adrian said, but first, understand, and defend, there is a strong possibility of getting a close match and even a possible win. And once West Indies back first and put 200 over 220 or 30 on the board, they can pretty much defend that because the fielding would be much tighter when you are aware of how much you need to restrict your opponent by. And I realize that they understand the assignment better when they're the ones who are able to restrict and so forth. They understand the assignment better.
And I hear Adrian talking about batting first. Adrian, this match against Australia, New Zealand, Australia, was played on the same venue. So the record on this venue after 11 matches, the team that bat first wins 82% of the time, right? The average score is 240 on this. As New Zealand won the toss, I don't know if they forgot that is their home venue, and the stats are out there. They won the toss and chose to bowl first, and I think that was the end of it. But in terms of, so it definitely a strategy for the West Indies would be, if you win the toss, bat first, and if you don't win the toss, you pray that Australia say, here, we're going to go bat because we're big and bad enough to chase down anything.
Yeah, most definitely. That's the way to go about it. I mean, but also let make no mistake about it. The West Indies had a blistering start against India. Dottin and Haley Matthews went forward and actually did themselves very good before Dottin got injured and went out, and then we had a colossal collapse right there in the middle order flowing down. So Stephanie Taylor has to come to the party in a big way. She has to perform. Now is the time. She's a big time player, and we expect that now is the time for her to show her mettle. And if herself, Dottin, Matthews, and a couple of others can put some runs together, Shadeen Nation as well, then they can put up a fight. But it first starts with them probably winning the toss and actually batting first.
But in addition to winning the toss and batting first, Raymond, I don't know when I hear Adrian talk about Stephanie Taylor and her approach, I felt like if she was more aggressive when she backed, and if you look at how Ailey Matthews and Dottin started, they were pretty aggressive. There was one over when them score 5 fours, right? So if I felt like if they were more aggressive, then they would have stand a better chance of chasing down those runs. So one of the strategy going up against Australia definitely has to be you can't be timid, you have to be aggressive in order to turn them over.
Yeah, definitely. She has to be aggressive. I know she's struggling for form now, and I guess she's a little more calculated with her shot selection, and so she's probably trying to decide, what shots to play aggressive with. But when you play like that, sometimes you end up overthinking it, and when you overthink it, some of the least, some ball that you don't expect to take your wicket, that happens. You end up playing a edge, or you end up getting a LBW or something that you least expect, and that's because you're overthinking it. And almost if Dutton is able to stay, or Mattis is able to stay a little longer and probably help partner with her, maybe that would help her confidence, and she would just end up rotating strike, and as she rotates strikes, she's able to put more runs on the board and play into her strength and pretty much put runs on the, just a lot more runs on the board.
Adrian, we saw Dottin struggled in the latter part of her innings. I don't know if the yo-yo test is at fault for this, but is she okay, and will she be ready for this match?
Well, Kurt, that's a big scare for the West Indies team, DeAndre Dottin has led from the front herself along with Aileen Matthews, and the team feeds on her energy. You can see her in the field. You can see her how lively she looks in terms of even bowling, even when she hasn't bowled for a long time, and batting. She's a full power packed batter. So and know by any means necessary, she'll want to take that field. Doesn't matter whether it is that she feels a pinch. She has been struggling with a little bit of backache and all. I think that probably the amount of over that she bowled under pressure against India may have put a toll on her. As soon as she was done bowling, she was out batting and she went out on fire. So that may have kind of contributed to it there. But certainly we don't think any amount of yo-yo tests will keep a DeAndre Dottin out of the team for this crucial match against Australia. She'll want to line up from the start, knowing the type of player she is and her mentality, and she'll want to take it fully to the Australians with both bat and ball and even to the field.
And Raymond taking it to the Australia, and I figured the entire team now need to come to the party and not just one person be a game changer. We saw Dottin and Matthews did that against India, but them still fell way short of the target and our objective of them winning. So I feel like everybody needs to come to the party for this match.
Yeah, naturally, Kirk. Everybody needs to show up. The team has to be there full time. Pretty much putting chemistry together and everything. That all of them need to be there and push for actually bring this home. There's no one person that would do it for us. I'm sure in the first few matches you can see the standout start, but the truth is, within the field with everybody working, you can tell that it's a team effort and they celebrate together as a team. So there's no one person in it at all. As much as we said Taylor needs to come to the party, it's because we are aware of our quality and we would like her to actually, bring it. As a tournament does bring it.
Adrian, how much West Indies need to score back in the first in order to win this?
I'd say probably in the region of 260, 270.
Raymond, same thing.
Anything over 250, But as you said, the bat first, so anything over 250 is so defendable.
And I'm not even going to ask you what they need to do to restrict the Australians. I mean, who are going? For the record, who are going?
Right?
Adrian, don't tell me you're afraid to say this.
I'm a little bit careful in going out on that limb. The odds don't look good for the West Indies at this point in time. But I'm hopeful that the West Indies will win. But the odds don't look good at all. I'm hopeful.
Fans out there, 7th ranked West Indies.
Rayburn, just be quiet like that.
Big bad West Indies will take on number 1 Australia, and Australia is at the top of the table. It's not going to be easy, but we know it is possible. So we want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this matchup? Who you think are going to win? What score them need to make to win? Do you think they need to bat first, or do they bowl first in order to win this match? Leave all those comments in the comment section below, and always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Yeah, you see that red button? Just click it and subscribe to the channel, and welcome to the Sports DTM family. Raymond, Adrian, and I are signing out. Be blessed.